Hello everyone. Today I thought of sharing with you all, like answering to a question that I received in the comment section. Hi Dilmi, I first off really want to thank you for this insightful interview. It helped my soul a lot. Also, I'm struggling to hear what I truly want. How to do we how do we really discover the real voice among the chaos of the mind? Like this was being commented by Kishi Maya 6033. Okay, so that's a good question. I like I remember I was asked this question so many times, even in my singular channel, and I even addressed that there. I think how to recognize your inner voice, which is your intuition, among the chaos of this mind. How? I'll tell you the difference between mind and the heart. This is the biggest way. Your mind is confused, but your heart knows. Like when the knowing happens through your heart, it's very sure. But when it comes to mind goes into extremes, like to this extreme to the other extreme. Because of that, mind is quite confused. But when you get a knowing through your heart, it's just obvious. You just simply know it. And there's no doubt on that. It's just pure knowing. You just simply know. There's no opposite to it. It's you simply know 100%. But when it comes to mind, it's like always confused. It go in this direction, that direction. So that's a one way that you can recognize your heart voice. And then the next thing is your heart voice tell things which is dangerous. But if you take your mind is a covered. I remember when I came in to spiritual journey, my mind always wanted me to do a job which earns me a lot of money. But when I decided I'm going in a different path to on working on spirituality, that was dangerous. That is what my heart calling is. And I just knew that is the exact right thing for me to do. And there was no opposite. I just so 100% knew that is the right thing for me to do. And I felt so right. I felt so right. That's another word you can recognize. But when it comes to your mind decisions, you don't feel that feeling of I feel right. But when something comes out of your heart, you feel it so strongly right within your heart. But remember, this voice is so small and it's not easy to recognize that. Just like you said, that the chaotic case of your mind, it's not easy because mind is so high in power and then the heart voice is so low, like sometimes you don't even hear what it's trying to say. So that's why it's very important, like you have a daily mindful practice and you connect with yourself and connect to your source. And so more you're connected to source, more you will get these messages easily, you will be in touch with yourself. More we get disconnected with our voice, more we feel off, more we feel depressed, anxious, out of like you don't feel yourself anymore. You feel off. There's something off in your life. So like when you're just aligning and living up to your heart voice, you feel empowered, you feel joyous, you feel very different, you feel right. That's the word, you feel right. And so I'll go on talking about the mind voice and the heart. Actually, mind knows only how to doubt. Mind goes on doubting because mind is a coward, and heart only can trust. So, like, like when it comes to when I wanted to, like, um, go 100% all in the spiritual journey, like my mind was going crazy and it was doubting that whether is there any truth as such or whether enlightenment is, even is real. And so many doubts the mind just brought in, but the heart trusted that this is the right way to go. And I felt so right to go all in. Like I remember in 2019, after I quit my job, I went like completely like I put all my heart 100% into this whole intensive working on myself, working on spirituality. And I went quite deep and I trusted because I trusted my heart. I knew it's right. I knew it's the right thing for me to go all in for this journey. So the next thing is, as I said, the mind is quite confused and heart just know it very strongly, just there as the knowing. And and then another thing about the mind nature is more you listen to your mind, because mind is specialized in survival, more you will feel miserable in life. Like the times, each time that I listened to mind over my heart, I felt off, I felt miserable within me. And each time I started listening to my heart, I felt right, I felt joyous, I felt connected, I felt like as if I'm coming home, as if I'm living my purpose. That is another one characteristic that I can share. And this, I'm not telling that you just need to completely discard the mind, because when it comes to spirituality, the entire guidance being given by your heart. I always listen to the heart when I wanted to go deep in spiritual journey. But when it comes to the material world, of course, we need to listen to our mind to work. Like when you go to your job, obviously you need to deal with your mind and do the things. So this is not about I'm telling you to discard your mind or anything like that. What I'm saying is like when it comes to spiritual path, like your entire guidance will be guided by your heart, not through your mind. Your mind will distract you again and again and again and again. So that is why it's very important you open your heart and you like listen to your heart more, because more you start listening to your heart, more you will get the knack of it. So yeah. And so you need to know like when you need to listen to your mind and when you need to listen to your heart. So this is not about like discarding completely the mind, and there's a, like a huge function when it comes to real world things that we definitely need our mind and we need to rely on that. But at the same time we need to know when, like we need to know the place, the right place for the mind, not we just get completely like overuse. That's not happening. in the today's society, the mind has become everything, but that really disconnect us from ourselves. So it's very important that we know the place for the mind. So yeah, and the next thing is mind is about more like always about taking, 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 and the heart wants to always give. Like that is another one more guy. It just wants to go on giving, and just by giving, it just like that is like that makes the person so happy by just by giving. And if you take again one more characteristic is mind is quite cunning and calculative. That's why I said that is something like someone can be successful in real world with the mind, but like when it comes to heart, like heart says innocent things. It is the innocence. Like heart knows nothing about cunning, calculative. It's very innocent. It's pure. It's yeah. And so like if you take the mind is always like confirms with the society, you know, and mind voice will always confirms with the society what the society says, because mind is the internalized society. But if you take the heart, is always going beyond the mind and it going against the society. So that's why listening to yourself, listening to your inner voice is dangerous, you know. And so let's say that someone wants to like, then, so for example, like if a person has like, like let's say a career, a person who is wanting to become like, who is just practicing to become a doctor. Let's say that person's true desire is to sing. Like, let's say that person let go of this whole career of being a doctor and then goes to become a full-time career as a singer. This is dangerous. No one wants to do it. This doesn't confirm with the society. So that's why just listening to your inner voice is not easy. It's dangerous. The society will deny that. Not only society, keep aside society, even your own family members will not agree with you. They themselves will start questioning you, and at that time you need to be very strong. That's why to listen to your heart, you need to have real courage for you to like stand on your own feet and not get affected by this pressure of the society, the voices inside us, or from the external voices. So this is how you can recognize your heart voice compared to the mind's voice. Like your heart has a very tiny voice, and only we hear when the mind is mostly like silent that we tend to hear this. But for that, it's very important you connect to yourself, that you connect to your source. And through that, you will hear more and more from your heart. More you practice listening to your heart, more you will be able to listen to it. And sometimes the message would be quite different. Like, for example, like one time I was listening to listening to a person in the TV, And like when I was listening to her, she was sharing one of actually awakening experience, and I got goosebumps. And that is a sign coming from my heart. And I remember I went very deep with her work because she already had some big books. And so that is my heart talking to me. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes to recognize this heart voice, we need to be in touch with our intuition. We need to be in touch with ourselves. Otherwise, we could miss these uh, heart voice, because you can see it gives in different ways. Like, for example, goosebumps in my heart, sorry, good goosebumps in my hand is a sign that like this person is telling the truth. This person is sharing her experience and it's quite authentic. And because when someone talks from their truth, it's powerful. The word has power. And so that touched me. So that's the sign of me getting goosebumps. So see, like it doesn't give you directly like a voice, like this is it. This is giving in a very subtle ways. The question is, can you see them? Are you connected enough to see these signs so that you will follow your path? And so I believe you get the answer for this question, and thank you.